guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys checking out today's video and spending some of your day with me. And guys, today I want to talk about the main reason that most bass anglers struggle to catch fish, because if you fish a public body of water, fishing is tough. I mean, it's never easy. It's usually always a grind, and there's a couple different reasons why people consistently struggle to have good days on the water, and conversely with that, why some people seem to be really consistent. But I want to identify today why most anglers struggle, some things you can do to prevent that. And I really want to talk about a little bit about why some people are just better than others when it comes to bass fishing. And it's like, there's a lot to this, because guys, let me give you a prime example. There are some people that I have been around in my professional fishing career that have a terrible work ethic. They don't put in the time. They slop through everything. Their tackle's in terrible shape, but they always catch fish. And I know other guys that work their butt off, and their tackle's meticulous, and they work at it. They think about it constantly, and they never get good at fishing. So we're going to talk about that in today's video, and so to give you guys my thoughts on that. I'm also, guys, real quick, anybody interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, I'm getting my jerkbait lessons lined out right now for November, December, January, February. Just shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blaukat Professional Angler, for the details there. And also, guys, thank you very much for everybody that's been going into my video descriptions and every video and using that tackle warehouse link for your tackle, getting you one of my Fish the Moment Lake Map breakdowns, solar bat sunglasses, my jigs, all that type of stuff. If you're one of the viewers that have done that, thank you very much for me and my family. We really appreciate that. Okay, man, this to me is like one of the biggest untalked about things in bass fishing, because I remember when I first started fishing back in the 70s, I was ate up with it, but I sucked. It's like I could not catch any fish hardly, and it was so frustrating because I wanted to catch fish worse than anything. I remember watching like Jimmy Houston and Roland Martin and Jerry McInnes on TV, and they would be always out. They were catching fish all the time. And little did I know, a lot of them, it may took a week for them to film that show, or they're fishing in private bodies of water that don't get pressure. So it was a little deceiving, that, but nevertheless, I just could not catch them for a long time. And there's nothing more frustrating in bass fishing than wanting to catch fish and do good at fishing, and you just can't do it. So let me talk about one of the things that really, really holds people back. And this is something that's not flashy. It's not sexy. A lot of people tune out when I talk about it. And that is, if you're going to be successful consistently as a bass angler, you have got to be a student of the fish. And so many people don't want to hear that. They don't want to do that because it takes time and effort and work. Most people that I have seen on the videos that I do here on YouTube is that they want something, excuse me, that they can go out right now, put a lure on, put a new lure on, put a new color on, and just go out and catch fish right and left. It does not work like that. It's like, if you're going to consistently catch fish, and if you're going to improve your ability to day in and day out have fewer and fewer bad days on the water where you catch fish more often than not, you have got to study the bass and understand the mood and the personality and the behavior of bass. And when I talk about this, a lot of people just say, I don't really want it. I'm just not interested. And it sort of goes along the same lines that people would rather be entertained than educated. That is one of the hallmarks of human behavior, is people want to be entertained over educated. That's why your TV shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and some type of 90 Day Fiance, some type of reality show, they get a ton more attention than some scientific program that teaches you how the universe works. People want to be entertained, and that entertainment comes in a lot of forms of watching people catch fish and lures and that type of stuff. So here's some things that you can do. Start shifting your focus a little bit in your bass fishing towards learning about the fish individually as bass. Start learning about the seasonal movements and patterns. Try to start spending your time right off the bat, it's like, okay, how do water temperatures and water clarity affect bass? What are the best lures based upon your water clarity and your water temperature? What are the best areas of the lake? There's a lot of resources on this, guys. If you go back into some of my playlists, especially on Intuitive Angling, my channel, there's a lot of stuff about the playlist on bass mood and personality, bass behavior. Those are the videos you need to watch, because once you understand where the bass live and their mood and their personality based upon times of the year, everything else falls into place and is easy. I can show you and give you some of the best lures in the world, the best colors, baits that people don't fish very often. And if you don't put yourself around the fish, you're still not going to catch any fish. But if you put yourself around the bigger populations of fish and you understand the lures that the bass want based upon their mood and the personality from environmental factors, you can be in an area that doesn't have that many fish in it and you're still going to catch bass, because you've figured out how to catch them as far as the techniques that's required. And that is the whole thing about it. It's like a lot of people just don't understand that. They spend all of their energy on the things that help them very incrementally and small, and they leave out the big stuff that's going to allow them to make those big, massive quantum leaps in success. And all of the guys I know that are top level pros, these are guys that are like the top 5% of the bass fishermen I've ever met that are skilled, is they study the fish and they think in terms, it's like, okay, what are these fish doing? How are these fish positioned? What is it going to take to trigger the strike from this fish based upon the mood that those fish are in, based upon how everything is affecting that mood. The mood is affected by tons of stuff. It's affected not only by the environmental weather conditions, it's affected by, the moon phases, it's affected by the fishing pressure, it's affected by the noise decibel levels on a lake, it's affected by the wind speed and wind direction. There's a ton of different stuff that influences that. And every good bass angler I've ever met understands that. And that's sort of why a lot of people that are really good at hunting, they're also good at fishing, is because in order to be a good hunter or a bass fisherman, you have to understand the movements and the behavior and the personality of what you're going after, whether it be game or fish. And so many people, like I said, they get led down the wrong path. I mean, they think that just turning on live scope's going to help them catch more fish, or they see some guy win a tournament on a certain colored lure and they go buy it all up. They figure that's going to help them catch fish. But day in and day out, those things like I talked about just studying the bass is going to give you more success than anything. But I can say that, and then I guarantee that 75% of the people watching this video will not do that. That's just sort of part of human nature. And that's why there are very few people out there that are super, super consistent at bass fishing, is because most people don't want to go and be willing to do what it takes in order to really, really master the sport, which is a difficult sport to master. So anyway, guys, biggest advice I can give you is, like I said, try to go to those videos, try to talk to people, try to learn as much as you can about the fish themselves, about where they live, what causes them to be in certain places at certain times, how they react to different changes like current and water level fluctuations. And once you get a grasp about that, you're going to find your success being super, super consistent. And you're going to find that the days you have where you do not catch fish are far less than the ones that you actually do have, good success at. So anyway, guys, hope it helps out. We'll talk later.